Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. My name is Zakaria Suleimane and I will be your host today with my colleague Pierrick Deleuze. Today we are going to speak about the exciting topic of anonymizing data and privacy protection. The webinar will be around 45 minutes and your speaker today is Olivier Descotener. You can ask your questions via the questions tab on the right-hand side. And you will also be able to replay the webinar and download the presentation later on our website. And now I'd like to give the stage to Olivier.
Thanks, Zakaria. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I looked at the registrations and actually I'm pleasantly surprised we are so many today, so that's very cool. Although the topic is exciting, it's quite specific too. But first, as proposed by Zakaria, allow me to introduce myself. So my name is Olivier Descotener. If you remember, Olivier is more than enough. I started my career with a master degree in IT in my pocket. And I started by working for well-known companies like SAP or IBM, for example. Then I had the chance to create my own company with two friends of me. And we had a quite successful growth. After some years of doing mainly project management and sales activities, I decided to leave from my passion, which is actually photography. And yeah, I hear you. You are all wondering if I was shooting with Canon gears, and unfortunately, I didn't. So mea culpa. We all make mistakes. But after that, I had the chance to join Iris 6 years from now. So since then, I'm doing business development, mainly in the southwest region of Europe, which includes Belgium, Luxembourg, France, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, which indeed are not the worst place to make a business trip. I'm also married. I have 3 kids. And I love to say I'm an Epicurean because I love a lot of stuff in life, like music, food, drinks, cinema, etc. But that's enough about me. So let's get back to our agenda of today and dig a bit deeper around our subject. So data capture and data privacy. I will first just make a brief recap of what I mean with those two words or 2 sentences. Then I will showcase 2 demos to illustrate how we can help with our platform to anonymize documents either in the output or either during the processing. And there will be Q&A sessions. I know we are used to put Q&A sessions at the end of a webinar, but here today we wanted to try something else. So we are going to put actually 2 Q&A sessions, one after each demo, so we can directly tackle your questions when the topic are still hot. So data privacy. First, taking a step back, actually data privacy is it belongs to data protection. You have 2 main areas: data security and data privacy. Data security actually is related to data protection, which means that we try to protect data from being stolen or viewed by external hackers or insidious insider. So we use for that some technologies like encryptions, access control lists, so which means rights and password, etc., to see what you can use, monitoring of the network, and all this kind of stuff. This is not the topic of today. The topic of today is really data privacy, and this is actually the way you govern how data are collected, used, and shared in the company. So this is more directly linked to regulations. We all have directly GDPR in mind about policies, consents, etc. So that's what we are going to talk about today. we are going also to talk about data capture and how actually our platform can help you deal with that. What this webinar will not be about is a webinar about GDPR, all the legal aspects about privacy. Although we will talk about services, external libraries, AI, and all these kind of topics, it's not going to be too technical, hopefully. The goal is really to show you something different. So the reason I've chosen this topic is actually to go a bit outside of the beaten path. We are used to see when we talk about data capture, about invoice processing, order processing, delivery notes processing, and all these kind of documents. Here I really wanted to show you something different, to actually try to trigger your curiosity to think outside of the box with data capture, just because our platform is very flexible. So this means that you can really customize it to handle different kind of documents and to automate completely different kind of process too. Hopefully, the use cases will help you to open your mind. So data capture, just a brief word about it, because I'm sure you're all used to it. But if I want to simplify it, we of course have the import bar, where you can have different import channels, like for example, paper, electronic documents, picture taken from phone, scan from MFPs or production scanner, and all the likes, email for sure. Then we have normally a step of separation of documents, which can be automated thanks to our package PADS. If you don't know it, there is a specific webinar around it. Then we have a classification. So this means that we actually identify the type of documents we are talking about. Then you have the indexation, which is actually retrieving information on the document and giving meaning to it. What it means is that it's not only making an OCR, so a text of the document, but really giving sense to the information. Then you have an eventual step of verification and, of course, integration with subsystems, because at the end, the goal is to feed subsystem with relevant information. Today, what we are going to see is that actually we can have data privacy handled during the export or for the export, meaning that you want that your output is anonymized, so you can share and use it freely within the company without putting at risk the data privacy. Another place where I'm going to demo it is during the verification. If, for example, you want the person who is doing the verification part not being able actually to identify to who belongs the data they are handling. So let's directly dig into the first scenario. The first scenario concerns the handling of curriculum vitae or resume. So as you can imagine, a lot of private data in it, like the name, phone numbers, email, where you made your education and this kind of stuff. And as you can see in the presentation, the goal is to create a PDF document, PDF-A in this case, where we will automate the hiding of those information. So you will see that all the sensitive data will be replaced with black boxes. To do that, we will use some AI. Actually, I also took the opportunity of this webinar to demonstrate the flexibility of our platform. So you all know that we have built-in AI in Iris Extract. You also all know that you can script with Microsoft.NET in our platform, which is quite cool actually to make a customized solution. And the goal here was to actually integrate external services, which are more and more used in our industry, so software as a service or web services and stuff like this. So I took, as I said, this opportunity to showcase that too. I will just switch to my VM so I can directly import document into Iris Extract. So it's not a fake demo, and hopefully the law Murphy will not ruin my demo. So documents are imported. We'll just double check that all is fine. Seems to be fine until now, at least. So what will happen in the background actually? So some steps in the scenario I'm going to show you. So first one is that, of course, we will make the OCR using our HQ OCR, which is the latest technology we use based on AI, relational neural network. I won't explain you how it works. I'm not even sure I could. It's quite complex. What is sure, on the other hand, is that this new approach allows us to be a lot more effective on low contrast images or on image with distortion, like the one taken by a mobile phone, for example. I have for a partner in France who has developed his own invoice processing solution for some historical reason. The interesting part is that with this new HQ OCR, they get even better result with a mobile phone that they could get in the past with regular scanning. So that's quite impressive, actually. There will be a second step where we use the Stanford Natural Language Processing Service. So this library actually will allow me in the demo to identify automatically the names and the companies and the universities in the resume. Then I integrated Microsoft Language Understanding Intelligence Service, such a big name. I will use LOUIS as an acronym. And this will allow us actually to identify strings which respects a certain format, like, for example, an email address or a web address, or let's say a phone number, for example. Then there will be a verification part, so I can show you something. And in the end, as said, we will have a PDFA compliant document where the data will be anonymized. So let's switch back to the demo, where hopefully everything is waiting for us. Perfect. And here we go. So as usual, in the verify, you will have the batch on the left side, the image of the document in the middle, and all these indexes on the right side. And we see actually that all the information that we want to hide has been discovered. Well, by the way, for those who don't know how to highlight everything at once, there is an option here in the menu, mark all fields, which is quite convenient when you have multiple indexes and you want to have a quick look at all of them. Yeah, I see that it doesn't took the complete word here for the web address, but I will just solve that. It's actually, this panel here actually acts like a regular table finder. So it's just a table with some with one column, but the behavior is the same, which means that you could add lines by yourself or that you could remove lines. Let's see the next one. Here we go. Same here, doesn't took the name. As said, it's external services based on AI, so AI is not perfect, or not yet, hopefully. I will add here the name of this restaurant, which is apparently not as known as the other one. We'll take the next resume. Here we see all is at least looks fine. Yes, it's the case. Next one, 2. So you always have, based on NLP, the name that is retrieved and the name of companies or a college or university. And then with Microsoft Lewis, more formatted string or strings that belongs to a certain shape that we expect. Here, everything is fine too. Here we have something quite weird as an image, actually, but still working, quite cool. I will add this name here at the bottom, and I will actually remove this line, which has nothing to do. And let's take the last one. Here we have another one. And what I will add just to showcase is hiding also the picture. So we can have piece of information directly in the text that will be hidden, and we can also have either a block of text or a picture. That's it for the processing. And now let's wait that actually we get the result. Hopefully it will not be too long. So as said in the beginning, we will make 2 Q&A sessions. So just after the demo, you will have already one. So feel free to throw your questions in the chat, and we will answer them directly, at least most of them. So here you see we have the output of the demo, and as explained, all the sensitive data are replaced with black boxes. So here we go, same here, and the last one, which was interesting for the picture, you see it's completely anonymized. So here the interesting part actually is that usually you use data capture to catch data from document to feed a subsystem. Here actually you use data capture in a completely different way. You catch information with the goal to hide it, which is not usual, by the way, but it completely match with the data privacy regulations. So I will give the floor back to Pierrick or Zakaria. I don't know if there are questions already.
Yes, it's going to be me, Olivier. Thank you. So we have
Welcome.
a few questions, and some of them are quite aligned. So from Tom and Gary, for example, there is a question. For this demo, you used external services like the Stanford NLP library or Microsoft Lewis. Why not using the built-in search fields features of Iris Extract?
That's a very good question. Actually, it would have been a lot more easier for me to use the search fields feature from Iris Extract because it's easy, no-code configuration, as you know. But here the goal was to show or again or prove or whatever emphasize the fact that the platform is very flexible and that it's completely feasible to integrate external services. So the goal was just to remind people that one of the key point of the platform is that of course you can script in .NET, and that this will open a lot of doors in terms of customization and integration.
Okay.
Any other question?
Yes, one from René. René asks, are this HQOCR or NLP or other technologies included in the new iris extract 2021? I think you have a mixed answer on that one, I guess. So IHUOCR and NLP, is that part of the new iris extract release?
So HQOCR for sure is part of iris extract. NLP is not. It's an external service that I used. It's for the purpose of the demo. We have AI integrated in iris extract, like for the classification, for example, which is self-learning. You have different pieces of AI that we use, but not the one I'm showing here. That's why actually I use external services. But for example, the one from Microsoft Lewis, could have been completely replaced with search field very easily. Well, actually, it would have been even easier. Yeah, hopefully it answered the question.
Yes, thank you. Question from Stefan. In the exported PDF, the text or images are hidden with black boxes. What about the text layer?
That's a tricky one. Let me switch back to my VM. So if I open a document, yeah, first we see that it's PDFA compliant as announced. And for the text layer, actually, you see that the black boxes are not part of it. So yeah, the image is hidden and replaced by a black rectangle, but also the text layer is, of course, removed. Otherwise, it would make no sense in terms of data privacy. But then, thanks for this one. Very tricky.
Okay, question from Walter. Maybe that would be the last one on this one, but of course, any question that has not been answered live by Olivier will be answered in person. We will email you back or contact you after the webinar. So, question from Walter. Hello, what is a typical use case for this application?
Well, hopefully the one I just demonstrated is one. For me, for example, having anonymization of resume is a very interesting one because, you know, if you want to archive resume, you have a certain amount of time that you can keep the information, but by anonymizing it, you can first keep it for a longer time and then share it more easily within the company. Also, if you want a recruitment process that is fair, I would say, then you can easily remove information like, well, the picture, which is one, to make it fair, nationality, age, whatever that is put in the document. And then actually the people who is making the recruitment only see what you want him to see. So that's the first which came in mind, but you can imagine that payslip salary, which is actually the next demo, or whatever HR document related to a person, may be one of the use case for that.
Okay, very good. Many other questions, but we will keep them and answer them later after the webinar because we have a second demo, correct?
Indeed. So next demo is about pay slips, so salary, let's say. Here the goal is not to actually hide the information from the output, but actually hide the information during the verification phase so that the person who is making the verification is not able to link the information to a specific person. We can imagine that, yeah, sensitive data like salary, not everybody wants that it is shared across the company. So here what we will have is that actually 3 types of information. So we will get the name of the person, we will get the national security number, and we will get the net salary. We will extract those information from all the incoming documents and then show a new image that is only displaying this specific piece of information. But let's dig directly in the demo as it will be more clear, I guess. Let me import the payslip salary into the system. And see what's happening. Sounds good. Yeah, you see images have been analyzed. We are creating the snippets with the different kind of information. And here we go. So what has been done, as explained, we have taken from all those 3 payslips the net salary, and they are put it here in a single image. And like this, it's almost impossible to link the values with a specific person. So that's pretty good, actually. I know who are the person behind, so I will just change the value here because that's my payslip, and hopefully I will get a nice surprise on my bank account. Next one is related to either the name of the national security number in that case. So yeah, they are good. We can, of course, validate it. And the last one was about the names of the person. So myself, my wife, and my dear colleague, David. As you have seen, the images were actually built from different pieces of the original documents. And like this, the person who is validating cannot match information between them. So it's completely anonymized for the process. What's interesting is that in the output, we will get a regular PDF, let's say, with a regular XML file containing the information, even if it has been validated, like if they were completely split. I will just come here to illustrate. So you have, let's say, the PDF, and you have the regular XML with the different value which are validated, like, for example, the name, like, for example, the salary, and the social security number, which was here. So at the end, we combine again all those information together, like if they were never split, which allow a complete anonymized verification. And that's it for this one. Quite easy, quite straightforward. Maybe we already have some questions around this one, Pierrick?
Yes, we do have at least one question for this one from Eve. We saw that all the verification process was done by you. Can we imagine having different persons verifying only specific indexes?
Yes, definitely. So of course, here for the demo, I'm alone. So that's why I did all the verification. But actually, the backbone of this demo is a project for a customer. And the goal was indeed that different person will validate different kind of indexes. As you know, in Iris Extract, we work with queues, and you can have different verify queues. So this means that we could imagine that for each type of information or each index, we send them to different queues. Then you also know that in Iris Extract, we have access control. And with that, you could link a specific group in your Active Directory with a specific queue in the verify. And like this, person will only see part of the information. So it will be kind of double security, I would say, because on one side, you will already split the information and completely anonymize it. And on top, you will have a different person only accessing part of it. So yeah, that's completely feasible, and it completely makes sense.
Okay, good. That was the only one so far, the only question for this demo.
Okay, Well, and I would say that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed actually to see those scenarios, because it's quite different than what we are used to. There are really two messages that I wanted to convey via this webinar. Is first, keep in mind that data capture is not only invoice processing. Of course, it's one of our flagship, and we do a lot of business with invoice processing. But the flexibility of our platform really allows you to tackle different scenario, like the one we saw today, different kind of documents. The second point is that I wanted to highlight or to remind the fact that scripting in .NET, of course, allow you to put some specific verification of a field or some specific search, but it also opens you to the outside world by integrating other services, and this makes actually our platform quite unique and powerful. I would like to thank you again for your valuable time. And I also would like to take the opportunity to thank especially 3 colleagues, actually, which, although not part of my team, really helped me a lot to build this webinar. So to name them, there was Hakim Lind, who is a business development manager in the APAC region, and Bart Balaguer, head of business development worldwide, who almost built completely the first demo. And then our guru, or our expert, Tis Boss, who made the second demo for me. A very big thank to all of you guys, because it helped me a lot. That's it. I give you back the floor, guys, to handle properly this webinar.
Thank you, Olivier Zakaria. Are you there?
Yes, of course, I'm there. Maybe you can move to the next slide, Olivier. So yeah, thank you very much for attending this webinar. And to say it again, you can replay the webinar later today, and you will find it on our website, irisdatacapture.com/webinars. And don't forget to check our next webinar, which will be about integration possibilities at IRIS. So thanks for your participation. Have a nice day and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
See you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Bye.